Good afternoon. My name is Daljit Baines and welcome. I'm the Head of Admissions and Business Development. I'm here to do a talk about applying to Strode College. And I'm just going to go through some of the steps that you need to think about when making an application to Strode College and some useful tips on what you should think about when preparing to make an application, which I hope you're going to find useful and informative. So let me begin. So before you make an application, I always recommend you do your research. So attending this webinar, if you're watching a recorded version, is a useful research tool. So we have loads of information on our website. So if you go to the college website, you'll find there are some pre-recordings, tours that you can find on Strode College. There's information about subject matter, careers that are linked to the courses that you do at Strode College. And there are other virtual webinars pre-recorded that you can access. There will be also some useful information about materials that you can actually study at year 11, which you might find useful as well. The other thing you might want to do also is obviously look at the courses that you're interested in. So our college website has fact sheets on all the different subjects you may be interested in. I'm going to go into more detail about the college website when you're doing the application. I'll show you some slides where you can actually filter, which is a good way of actually reducing what you're looking for and concentrating on courses at Strode. So you can look at fact sheets. That gives you information about the course, the contents, progression opportunities, and entry requirements as well. When you're thinking about doing research, you're obviously going to speak to people that you trust. So parents, carers, you'll be talking to them about your application. I'm referring to a child, obviously, making the application. If you are watching this and you are a parent and a carer, obviously, you're going to be guiding your child through this process as well. So thinking back, the last time a big decision was made was probably when choosing your GCSEs in year 9. So now it's another opportunity to make a big decision again. So our courses, which are level 3s predominantly at Strode, A Levels, BTECs, are 2-year programs. So you'll be looking to commit yourself for 2 years and then obviously thinking about the future after that. So post-16, you really do need to think about the course that you're applying for. Talk to parents, carers, talk to friends and family members or siblings to get some advice about the kind of things that you might enjoy, might be able to guide you about your strengths, knowing about the kind of person you are, and help you direct you the right way when choosing subjects. But remember, as an applicant, it's your choice. It's your decision at the end of the day. You are going to be studying this program. So therefore, you must make sure the subjects you pick are the right ones for you. Okay, but getting their support and guidance is always helpful. Another way of obviously researching is thinking about future careers. So some of you out there may be prepared and have an idea about a career that you want to go forward with. If it's whether it's in medicine, whether it's in being a solicitor, anything. If you research that career now, and that's planning, really, we're talking about planning like 5 years, 6 years ahead. Research that career now and look at what the requirements are to get into that particular career. You can then work backwards, okay? So you can work backwards. So some professional careers require you to go into university to get a higher qualification, like a degree. So knowing what the entry requirements for a degree is, what kind of subjects that may require, may help you determine the subject you may want to choose when you go on to Strode College. So that's a useful tip. If you haven't chosen a career, don't panic. It's important. You can always just choose subjects that you enjoy, that you're interested in, that you're passionate about, okay? But if you have got a career, please research it and make sure you know the kind of things that you should be doing. It's particularly important if you're thinking of going into science or medicine, because obviously getting the right subjects now determines your future and helps you go towards that goal. The other thing you can also do is talk to your careers team at your local school, okay? So a career advisor is there to help you, there to give you impartial information. They will try to give you tools that help you to do the necessary research, help you with guiding you the right direction. So if you haven't accessed your career advisor, and obviously I understand it's all virtual at the moment, but you are able to do so, please do speak to them and speak to your tutor as well and your teacher as well to get some ideas about the kind of things that they think you might be interested in and help you towards that. But once again, Remember, it's your application. It's about what you really want to do. But obviously having this kind of research and this kind of input may help you choose the subjects you want to go forward with. Another thing that you might want to consider when choosing subjects is the kind of the learning style that you have as well. And there's two types that are around. And you may have seen this before, you may have heard this before, but let me just explain it if you haven't. So if you are a hands-on practical person, like to try things out, want to learn the skills, practice it, enjoy doing coursework-based subjects, then you may be more interested in doing a vocational course. And vocational courses are things like BTECs, diplomas. They're also things like NVQs, National Vocational Qualifications, and apprenticeships. Now, at Strode College, we offer BTECs and diplomas. The NVQs and apprenticeships are something that you'll need to look at Langley College. But if you are vocationally minded and maybe the subject you're interested in is more practical, this may be a pathway that you might be interested in. Things like creative courses, media, arts, things like practical courses like sports. They might be things that you might want to be interested in doing as a vocational course, as a BTEC. It is predominantly coursework, but there is some exams in it. Things are changing with the syllabus, but just be aware it's more practical. If you are more theoretical, you'd like to do exams, you'd like to learn about it, research about it, similar to what you're doing in GCSEs, to be honest, then A Levels is a good pathway for you. You have the opportunity, obviously, to pick 3 subjects. They are heavily exam-based, but if you enjoy that, and that's something that you are passionate about, and you feel that would be something you're interested in, then that could be a choice for you as well. It does lead to things like degrees. Both of them do offer you higher education at the end of the goal, and I'll explain that in another slide. But the idea is, it's about being more knowledge-based, more research-based, and obviously the fact that you can choose more than one subject as well, okay? So this is what you call a learning style. So if you haven't thought about it, please think about this. It might help you determine the type of subject you want to do and which path might be right for you as well. When choosing subjects at Strode College, you also need to know about the entry requirements. Now, at Strode College, we have 2 levels of qualifications. On this table that you're seeing on the slide, it refers to entry and level 1 foundation. Well, those are not available. So what we focus on at Strode is a level 2 qualifications. So for those, you need to have GCSEs grade 4 to 2. And then we have a large variety of courses at level 3, which is the advanced level. And for that, you need 5 GCSEs grade 9 to 4. Now, if you're choosing A-level subjects, you'll be needed to pick 3 A-level subjects to make a complete study program, so you can do something full-time. In some of those subjects, be aware that some of the subjects, hence why you need to look at the fact sheets, they may require you to get a higher grade than just 4. So for instance, further maths will require you to higher grade, around 6 or 7 grade in order to do further maths. The science subjects are very similar as well. So do keep an eye out for what the entry requirements are. And each of the individual entry requirements are in the fact sheet on our website. You can notice there on the slide that you can also do a BTEC extended diploma, and the entry requirements for that are no different to A Levels because both of those courses are a level 3. So in fact, the BTEC extended diploma is a standalone course. That means you do it in one subject and you concentrate your efforts. You get, obviously, it's very much coursework based, it's practical, but it is the similar value to A Levels if you get a distinction, close to a distinction or a merit grade. In that example with BTEC extended diploma, it's not just about the entry requirements that you need to consider. You may also need to provide evidence of work as well. So for instance, if you're doing something like art or performing arts subject, they may require you to show some evidence of the type of work that you've done because it's so practical, and that might be giving a portfolio or some sort of information. And I'll show you how you can upload that and actually provide that information when you do the application as well. So do keep an eye out for the entry requirements. Remember, this information is on our website. And if you're not sure where you are, it's always, as I said, go back to your research, go and speak to your teachers. They'll give you an idea. We totally understand right now that you may not have what we call target predicted grades. Some schools have been able to do mocks, and they may have given you some indication of your target or predicted grades. But a vast majority of schools obviously didn't have the opportunity, and obviously things are a bit unclear what's happening with exams, and obviously they're going to be further information from the government, and we're working in collaboration with schools and the government to obviously resolve that. But at this moment, knowing your subjects, knowing your strengths, knowing what you're good at and what you are passionate about, and that will guide you through. So if you feel strong and you feel confident, and your school feels very confident that you are going to be achieving 5 GCSEs grades 9 to 4 or higher, then obviously you should be looking to apply for a level 3 course. And we'll pick this up as part of the interview process. I'll explain that in another slide. If you're thinking about choices and you're thinking, you know what, I would rather do a combination of A levels and possibly a BTEC. Well, good news, we have the opportunity available to do that at Strode College. It's something called mix and match. Okay, so if you are thinking that you would like to pick maybe an A level and a BTEC, which is a diploma, it won't be extended because that's quite a heavy course, but you can do a diploma. You can mix and match your program of study. The entry requirements are still the same, so you still have to meet those entry requirements. And what you can do is they both will lead on to university, and obviously go on to either university, employment, or onto an apprenticeship program if you're interested. What you need to do is obviously research and look at the subjects you are interested in and why you are going to go for a mix and match. Because, for instance, like I said, the creative courses, maybe the sports courses, they are very practical, and you may find that that's something that you're passionate about. But at the same time, you may want to pick up an academic subject as well, so an A level to join that program. And that might be because you're interested in it. It might be related to a career that you're looking to do in the future. So doing a mix and match gives you the benefits of both worlds, i.e. you get the opportunity to do a vocational and an academic subject as well. So do look into that, and there's information on our website for that. So once you've done your research, once you've spoken to the relevant people, and you're ready and you're prepared to make an application, how do you make an application? So once again, it's all about going to the website. We don't do paper versions of applications, it's all online. And you need to set up an account, and actually then you can go in and actually apply for your subject. I've got a screenshot here of the website, so you can look at the kind of things that can help you filter your subjects when you're making an application. So there's a little tool there that allows you to actually select Strode College, and then on that it will show all the subjects at Strode College. But then you could even filter even further by picking full-time. So if you are doing a full-time study program, you want to be picking full-time. And by doing that, all the subjects that are part of the full-time program will materialize. And remember, you'll be able to tell whether it's a level 3 or a level 2 course in the title of the subject as well. Okay, so once you have done that filter, you'll be then able to select, even if it's your 3 A levels, you can go through and pick the 3 A levels you want, and you basically save them into something called a basket, which is online. So it's just a place to store your subjects while you're looking around and researching the subject you're interested in. If you are interested in a BTEC, you'll be able to do the same thing and store it into your basket. If you choose, let's say, only 1 A level, it won't allow you to apply because you need to pick at least 3. Or a mix between A levels and a BTEC. So do remember that. So you need to get the right amount of subjects in your basket before you make an application. So how do you do that? So you need to create an account. So first things first, you need to have an email address. If you don't have an email address already, and I'm not talking about a school email address, I'll explain why we think it'd be better to have a personal email address. The reason being is, if you use a school email address to set up your account, which is you can do, you may have difficulty accessing it after you finish your term. So after the summer break, we will be sending you communication. We'll be sending you important information about how to enroll at the college. And so basically you want to be able to access that, and that communication is sent by an email. So we recommend at this moment to set up an email account, a personal one. Now, parents, carers, if you're there, you can support your child by setting this account up. There's a whole range of different companies that you can do it with, from Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, BT, Sky, you name it. But we encourage you to make sure it's a professional one, maybe with the name involved in it, something that the child can keep and something that you feel belongs to you, and then you can keep going forward in the future. Make it something memorable. And obviously, once you've got your account set up, your email account set up, then you can go ahead and actually create an account with the college. And the email address is actually your username. So the first part of your email is your username. Then you need to create a password. Obviously, please make sure it's something that you remember and you can go back to. The reason being is, once you set up the account, we will send you an email and that will go in your inbox. So you need to double check that the account has been set up successfully. And then obviously we'll be sending you communication about things like interviews and obviously about offers and so forth. So you want to be able to access that regularly, whether it's on your mobile phone, your laptop, or your home PC. Once you've created your account, you can go ahead and start making the application. A top tip here now would be to make sure you get the necessary information that you need to make an account. Make an application. So the kind of things we need are as follows. So we need some personal information. So we need your address, your full address with your postcode. We need your contact details, like your mobile or landline. We need your emergency contact details. That tends to be your parent details. Parents and carers, if you're helping your child make an application, just remember the details must be in their name and not in yours, because obviously we are talking about their application. But you can put down a mobile number of yours if they do not have a mobile number of theirs, because that's important, because that's what we're going to use when we do a telephone interview, which I'll explain in the next slide. The other kind of information we need is about whether you've got any support needs. So things like if you've got a learning disability or learning difficulty, we want you to disclose that information because we're here to help. It's not going to hinder your application. We just have a dedicated support team that will be there to support you through the process, and that's important. And so if you can give that information to us now, we can actually pass that information on to them, and they'll be there to guide and support you through the interview, as well as obviously preparing you to come to the college as well. The other piece of information that we need, which is quite crucial, obviously, is the subjects you are actually studying at the moment at school. So if you can just provide that information, you'll be asked whether you can give us a targeted or predicted grade. If you don't have that, like I said before, don't panic. Just give us the subjects that you're doing. That should be enough to make your application. If you are maybe 17 and you actually got your results from last year, you can obviously put those down as actual results, and then that will be submitted as part of your application as well. As part of the online application process, you are able to upload documents to support your application as well. So if you think back to what I was talking about, evidence about maybe portfolios or evidence that you want to share, or even things like qualifications that you might have, school reports that you want to share with us, just to show how you're progressing, you can actually do that in a PDF format and upload it as part of the application. And that becomes visible and accessible to all my colleagues who will be interviewing you. If you have any difficulties in making an application, please contact the Central Admissions Service. We're here to help you. We'll be able to guide you through the process, and obviously you can contact us by telephone and email, and that's on the slide here, but it's also, the information is available on our website as well. So once you made your application, well, we'll process it for you, and that'll be relatively quick, and then we'll arrange for you to have a telephone interview. The telephone interview tends to be on a Wednesday, sometimes on a Thursday, and it's usually in the afternoon, so that we're mindful that you might be obviously got commitments with school, and obviously parent and carers, you might have commitments at work. But the idea is we try to do it as late in the afternoon as possible, but you will be given an email, so please check your inbox, and you will receive an email telling you the date and time of your interview, and we will also display the contact number we're going to call upon. So that's where the mobile number becomes quite useful. Please double check that. If it's wrong, please notify the Central Admissions team. We can correct it and update it for you. Colleagues will call you. They will be preparing to talk to you about your application. So the good thing now is to obviously think about your application. Maybe if you're a bit nervous, you're not sure what to say, maybe do a bit of role play, just go through the motions. We're not here to scare you. We want to talk about your application in a positive way. So it's knowing the kind of things, why you've chosen those subjects, what you're passionate about. Have you done any work experience that might be related? Have you got a particular career in mind? So all the things that we spoke about doing as part of your research now really comes into its own. If you feel a bit nervous, you might want to write this down, put it on a notepad, keep it next to you so you can refer to it. And if you have any questions, write those down. So be prepared, because obviously as you're going through the process, you may forget to ask those. And obviously, this is a great opportunity. The curriculum are here to help you. They really want to make sure that the course that you've applied for, the level you apply for, the subjects you apply for, meet your needs. Okay, so take this opportunity to explore that with them and ask them loads of questions. Parents and carers, if you have any questions for our curriculum, please ask your child to take those down and maybe ask those on your behalf. Okay, so things about maybe if it's something related to travel, how do you get to college, maybe ask your child to ask those questions as part of the application as well. Once you've done your interview, takes around anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. You'll get a verbal confirmation whether you got an offer, and if you do, congratulations and well done. But we will write to you confirming that in an email, and that will confirm the offer that you've been given. And now is an opportunity for you to secure your place. So in the email offer, it will actually clearly state that if you are happy with the offer and you want to accept it and secure your place at Strode College, that you need to log in to your account and press the accept button. As soon as you accept that offer, that secures your place at Strode College. And what that means is that the subjects you've chosen that you've applied for are secure and reserved for you. Okay, so yes, we still have to wait for the results to come through. Yes, we still have to wait for, obviously, the enrollment to take place, which usually is around late August and September. But it allows you to know, a bit of peace of mind, really, that the subjects you wanted are available and your name's been put down for those. Okay, if you apply now, that means you get your security sooner rather than later. And that gives you reassurance. That gives you more time to do some more research and look into the subjects and make sure this is the right choice for you. If you want to change any of your subjects, we can also do that for you as well. But here and now, that's the most important thing to do, is make your application, get your interview, secure your offer, and obviously accept it. So then you can concentrate on actually doing the subjects that you're doing at year 11 right now and be ready to obviously join us in September. We don't just stop kind of communicating you once you got your offer and accepted it. We aim to give you as much information throughout your journey in the enrollment process. So we will send you news reports and news articles that will keep you updated about what's things that are happening at Strode College. And we will also be writing to you over the summer about the enrollment process as well. The enrollments, like I said, take place around late August in September, but we will write to you over the summer. So please keep an eye on your inbox for important information, important updates. If you have any questions or any concerns, you're always welcome to contact the Centre Admissions team and we'll try to help you with those. I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take them.
Thank you, Darjit. That was really helpful, really detailed. That's brilliant. We've got a few questions coming through, but
no problem.
In the meantime, please do pop your questions in the Q&A box. A couple of people have asked about taking 4 A levels. Mm-hmm. Did you want to explain how that works?
Yes. So it basically, the A-level program is quite heavy, quite intense. There's a lot to do. Remember, it's a 2-year program. The exams are at the end of the 2nd year. Historically, many years ago, there used to be exams of the 1st and 2nd year, but now they're all in the 2nd year. So that's a lot to do. 3 A levels is usually the normal amount that people take on and actually can cope with. However, it all comes down to your circumstances. If you have a high achiever and you've got really strong GCSE results and you're going to be getting them in the 9s categories and the 8 categories, there is a possibility for you to do 4 A levels, but it will be down to the decision of the curriculum and as part of the interview process. Okay, you will be only able to make an application with 3, but the idea would be when you go for your interview, please express your interest and your desire to do 4. And the curriculum will then ask you the questions about what makes you feel that you can cope with 4. And that's where you really have to kind of show the evidence, provide us information that makes us understand that you can actually do 4 subjects. And that could be things like you may have achieved some of your GCSEs already. You may have done quite early and you got the results. So we can see that as evidence in maybe certifications you've uploaded. So that's the kind of conversation we want to have. So it's important that you kind of express it as part of the interview, and then we'll discuss it and we can see whether we can actually accommodate that request for you.
Okay, thank you. Just going back to some other questions that we've got. How do BTECs work? Do you have to do an exam at the end of those?
So BTECs historically used to be very much coursework based, but they have changed now, and they're becoming a bit more of a mixed balance between coursework and exams. I would say it's still predominantly coursework related, so nearly 70% in some cases, but there are exams involved. The way BTECs work is that you do coursework and assignments throughout the year. There is no one big exam. There is exams, obviously, but at the end, but there is no, you can actually start achieving and recognizing where you are with your qualifications. So if you start in September, do not be surprised if you're doing a BTEC that you'll start being set assignments and projects straight away, pretty much in a few weeks that you join us. And then you'll be given results and feedback on how you're progressing. And that's really positive, because that means you can tell whether you're going to be getting the higher grades like distinctions, which is the top level of a BTEC, which is what you aspire to do. And if you regularly, consistently get distinctions, that indicates roughly whether you're going to be overall get a distinction, because obviously it's 70% of the coursework is there. But then obviously exams do come into consideration as well. So it's a balance now, but it's still predominantly coursework. So that's the exciting thing, and it's very practical. And if that's something you enjoy, it's something that you should definitely consider.
Okay, that's great. And just another question is around the deadline for applications. How does that work?
So we're taking applications that are ready. We've been taking applications since October. We are already doing interviews. Like I said, we interview pretty much on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So we are open to receive applications. I would encourage you to, if you're not sure and you're still debating, do your research for sure, but don't leave putting in your application. I think you should put your application in soon. You can then go for the interview, have a conversation with us, talk about the subjects, and obviously get that important offer, and then obviously accept it and secure your place. We can always discuss, moving subjects at a later date, but I wouldn't leave it till the summer or any later. The reason being is simple, because the more early you do it with us, the more likely we can secure the subjects you have that you would like to do, and we can offer those. If you apply late, it's all about what's available, and you may not get your preferred subjects, and that's where it becomes really difficult. So for instance, if you're interested in doing 3 particular subjects in A level, it's not unusual at that late stage. Unfortunately, we may have to say, I'm so sorry that we can do the 2, but one of them is actually we already got reserved places, so you might have to change that. So you don't want to have that kind of situation put upon yourself. So let's not get yourself stressed out by that. So it's better to do the interview now, get your offer, and then that will give you peace of mind, and obviously give you plenty of time to research and make sure that's the right choice. But we're here to help you. That interview process is going to help you to ensure that is the right choice for you as well.
Great, thank you. Do students get input from tutors as to their progress and tracking, etc., and how they can improve their grades?
As part of the interview process, or while they're on
college?
While they're on the college, yes, they do. Yeah, so we give you regular updates on how things are going with your course. It should be a two-way relationship. It's all about what you put into your course as well. There are obviously opportunity to assess you throughout the program. BTECs, obviously, like I said, you do coursework that gives you a real insight on how you're progressing and how you're coping with the coursework. But with even A levels, we do obviously try to keep an eye on how you're progressing, the type of work you're doing, where you're achieving, where things need to be improved upon. So it's no different to what you're doing in GCSEs. We're here to support you. 2 years is a long time, and so we want to make sure you are actually on target to meet the goals that you want and achieving the qualification you need as well. So it's definitely a two-way relationship, and we're definitely here to support you.
Great, thank you. Some of these questions are perhaps more about the curriculum, but do you have any idea of what the kind of maximum group sizes are for the popular A-level subjects?
It's a hard one to say, to be honest, but what I can say to you is what we do is, as part of the interview process, we are now looking at the offers that we are receiving. And if we see a pattern or a trend, so for instance, if we see a sudden spike in a particular subject and it's very popular, what we will start doing is modeling towards building, maybe splitting the class to make sure it's safe. And obviously we can adhere to the rules of that. And we have that flexibility within the curriculum. So we are more than able to cope if there's a demand for a particular subject. But past experience has told us, based on years of trends of applications, which ones are popular. And we can tell them right now, obviously, because since October, we've been interviewing, we've got offers, we've got a feel for where the courses are going, and the curriculum are working hard to accommodate that. So if you're worried about, will I get a space? I don't think you need to worry about that. It's our headache, not yours. We will make sure that we are able to serve you and offer you what you want and do it safely. Okay, that's another thing that we have to bear in mind. Obviously, with everything that's going on at the moment, your safety is our number one concern, and we will make sure that happens. And if we need to split a class and create another one, we will do so. Any more questions there, Fiona?
Apologies, I was on mute.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's it. I have a slightly different question for somebody that actually is living overseas at the moment and is a British citizen but has not lived in the UK, but is 16, will be 16. I'm just wondering if they should just still apply, and then we'll contact them to discuss their circumstances.
Yeah, it's a unique situation, but yes, the answer is yes. You can make an application anywhere from the world. The idea is, obviously, you must be able to be in the country and able to be here to study when we start the program, which is obviously at the beginning of September. The interview is telephone based. We will try to arrange something for you in a similar way. If we can't do it by telephone, it might be a Skype or a Teams meeting, so that you can still get the chance to have an interview and a discussion with the curriculum. And obviously still go through the same process. You still have to provide us with all the evidence and information about your application and the subjects, and we can still reserve a place. But obviously be mindful that you must be able to travel to the country and be ready and available to study at the beginning of term.
Okay, I think I'll ask that person to leave their details and we'll follow up with them.
Yeah,
we can deal with that directly. And the person that asked about the group sizes, I will ask for their details as well and see if I can find that information out from the curriculum teams.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that I think comes to the end of our session. I'm just going to put in the chat here the admissions email. So if anybody has any particular questions, they can then direct them to the admissions team. And also the telephone number. I don't know if you could remind me of that, Daljit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. The telephone number for central admissions is as follows. It's 01753 793288. That's 01753 793288. It's a local number, so hopefully it will be a part of your package or your tariff, so you hopefully don't get charged. And our admissions email address is admissions@windsor-forest.ac.uk. That's
great. So, I've popped that in the chat, so you feel free to take a picture of that or cut and paste it and put it somewhere safe. I've got a couple of questions that are still outstanding, so I'm just going to reply to those before we end the session. I'm just going to quickly check if there's, I'm just conscious we've got another session at 6:30, so yeah. We do need to move on, but attendance tracking, that happens throughout, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah.
And we've got learning support for people that have any health issues or mental health issues.
Absolutely, yeah. The support team is there and dedicated to help you. That's why I was referring to your application. If you can disclose that kind of information, I know it's not something that people feel comfortable about, but please do. We're not here to kind of put it's a negative. It's actually for us to support you. We want to make sure we can help you from the moment you've applied and hold your hand through that process to the point you actually join us and continue as part of it as a student at the college as well.
Yeah, and then also taster days.
Yes, we do have taster days. We normally have those in July period. Obviously, last year we unfortunately had to cancel those because of the current climate with COVID. We are reviewing that now, and if there will, fingers crossed, we'll have the opportunity to do taster days in the future, but there'll be information on our website when those go up, and then you can register for those for that process.
Okay, thank you so much. And just the final one is, if you're unsure, is it better to accept an offer and then decline later, or wait until your results and then accept?
I would 100% accept it now. Okay, the reason being is that acceptance isn't like binding. You don't, we're not going to chase you down and you're going to get in trouble. Please don't think like that. All it means is just make sure it gives you peace in mind. It makes you realize that you've got something reserved and it's secure. Okay, it's like a booking. You have reserved that seat and it's yours until you let go. So if you let go too early, you might regret it, so don't let go. And obviously by confirming it and accepting it, you're giving us the intention that you're going to come to us, and it will help us with the planning, talking about group sizes, talking about making sure that we've got enough resources to support the subjects you are interested in. So by accepting, that makes us helps us with the planning process as well. And on regards to obviously things like taster days and visits and so forth, there is a really useful video that's on the website, which is actually a tour of Strode College. So if you haven't been there before, please do click on that, and it will give you some wonderful visuals about the size and a real feel for the college environment. So, it's the next best thing to actually being here at the moment. So please do click on that, and hopefully you find that useful.